Hi, so I am recording this very highly requested video about how to invest in tax lien properties in the state of Georgia. I'm going to focus specifically on Fulton County, which includes Atlanta, Georgia, if you're not familiar with Georgia and Fulton County. So as I mentioned in my reintroduction video, I've been a full-time entrepreneur for the last 11 years, and one of my biggest assets are properties. And one avenue that I use to purchase properties is the tax lien sale. So here's a disclaimer. This is not financial advice. This is not investing advice. This is not tax advice. This is no advice. This is just my experience and my knowledge of investing in tax lien properties in the state of Georgia, specifically Fulton County. So buying properties at a tax sale in Fulton County, Georgia involves a process known as a tax lien sale. So it's very important to understand the specific rules and procedures that govern tax sales in Fulton County. And I'm going to say this again. Please know that I am not giving you investing advice, financial advice, tax advice, no advice. This is just my knowledge, the information that I've used in order to make the investments. So let's get into it. Some background on the tax sale process in Georgia. So when property owners fail to pay their property taxes, the county may auction off the tax liens on these properties. So you, an investor, can purchase these tax liens, and the tax lien represents the right to collect the delinquent taxes plus interest and penalties. So if you purchase a property at a tax sale in Georgia, then you own the property depending on whether or not the original owner redeems the property. So the original owner has 1 year to redeem the property. If they decide to, or let's say buy back. So if the original owner buys back the property, meaning they pay you what you paid at the tax sale, they have to add on top of that 25%, which is a good return to me. So your strategy might be to purchase properties at the tax sale with the hopes that, or with the hope that the original owner will redeem or buy back the property and pay you a 25% additional amount on top of what you paid for the property at the tax sale. But let's just say that the original owner does not redeem the property, does not buy it back from you. So at the end of 1 year, you will hire an attorney, and we've spent like $1,500 to hire attorneys to do this process, to go and foreclose that owner's right to redeem. And now you own the property. And I believe that if you go into the second year and don't foreclose their right to redeem it, if that owner decides they want to buy back the property or redeem the property, then it's what your original purchase price is at the tax sale plus 50%. If I'm not correct on that, I will pop that on the screen, but I believe it's 50%. So researching the properties. So the first thing you would need to do is get the list of properties that are scheduled for the tax sale. The tax sale happens the first Tuesday of every month. And if it's Fulton County, you'll go downtown to the Fulton County Superior Courthouse. The tax sale is on the steps of the courthouse, and it is handled by sheriff deputies. Please know that they will not allow you to record. So if they see you in the audience recording with a camera, your phone, they will say something over the loudspeaker and let you know that you cannot record. So you are not allowed to record, okay? So again, you need a list of the properties. The sheriff always puts the list on their website, and the link to the website is below. And they normally post the list around the 15th of the month. So once you have the list, if you see something you like, then you would research those properties. You would figure out where they are, what their condition is, what the fair market value is. So drive by and look at those properties. Drive by and look. Don't disturb any tenants that might be living there. We just drive by slowly. We never disturb any occupants on the property. So you need to do your due diligence. Really make sure that that property has value for you. And only you can determine if a property has value or not. It's based on whatever your specific criteria is. So do your research, because once you buy it, it's yours. So let's say that you are the winning bidder. Then you have until, I want to say 2 p.m. the day of the auction to return with a cashier's check, or I believe they do not take money orders. I know they don't take personal checks. So cashier's check, I believe they take cash. And let me point this out. You have to register online to bid. Even though you've registered online, and I always register like on the 15th, or whenever I see the list, I have it on my calendar every 15th of the month to check to see if the list has been posted. Then I'll go ahead and register. Even though you've registered or pre-registered, you have to arrive to the auction before 9:45 a.m. the day of the auction in order to check in. If you're late, you will not be able to check in. You will not be able to bid on a property. So the deputy, sheriff's deputy, will give you a bid number or a bidder number, and that's what you'll use in the bidding process. So always try to get close and be prepared to yell, because there will be a lot of people there, so you have to stand out. So be prepared to yell your bid. And it's up to you how you increase your bid. You can go up $100 each time, $500 each time. Some people might go up $25,000. I've seen that. If they really want that property, they're going to jump high to eliminate all other bidders, all other competition. Okay, let's get started. So the link for the Sheriff's Office tax sales is posted below this video, or you can Google it. Just Google Fulton County tax sales, Georgia, and you should be able to come to the same website. So as far as the tax sales, they're held every first Tuesday of each month, starting at 10 a.m. I've never been there until 4 p.m. Normally they're done by 11 a.m., 12 noon. So first Tuesday of the month. Here is the list for February 2024. They normally post the list each month around the 15th of the month. So I just have that on my calendar to go and check. The sale for Fulton County only will be held on the courthouse steps, and that's 136 Prior Street. I suggest you Uber or take public transportation, because parking is extremely limited, and you do not want to be late to check in. So you do have to register in order to bid on properties. So click the register here link. Registration closes at 2 p.m. on the Monday prior to the tax sale. And again, you have to register in order to bid. Once you register, please keep in mind, you need to arrive to the tax sale and check in with a sheriff's deputy no later than 9:45 a.m. the day of the sale. And ask me how I know this to be fact. So I suggest get there about 9 a.m. That gives you time, and you'll have to get in line, and the deputy will check you in. So it is a two-step process. If you don't check in before 9:45 a.m., you will not be able to bid at all. and ask me how I know that. So the bid has to be paid in full the day of the auction. I think they give you until 2 p.m., maybe 3 p.m., but they will confirm if you're the winning bidder. They'll let you know what time, but it will be right back there at that same courthouse. It has to be a cashier's check payable to Fulton County Sheriff's Office. They do not accept money orders or personal checks. So here's the registration form. Just fill it out. You'll get an email confirmation, but be sure to arrive to check in before 9:45 a.m. So here's the list. So once you download the list, it just repeats some of the same information. Okay, it says 3 p.m. So you have until 3 p.m. the day of the auction in order to make the payment. So we bid on delinquent taxes. So you see all the properties that are coming up for the February auction. And some of these properties will not be at auction. The owner will have worked out something to where it won't be auctioned off. So be prepared for that. And then there's a separate list that would be auctioned off. And we don't really touch these judicial sale lists. Most of these are the HOAs foreclosing, the homeowners associations. So with these property, if there is a mortgage or any type of lien, if you purchase this property at the tax sale, you are now responsible for the mortgage of the lien. So that's why we really don't bother with these properties. Now, if you know someone that can do the research to determine if there are any liens against the property, then go ahead. But if you are unable to determine if there are outstanding liens or mortgage, then please avoid this list. So let's get started. If you see an address with a 0, then you will definitely have to use the tax parcel ID to look up that property. The zeros are a little bit more complicated than just a full address. So the addresses are the easiest, and sometimes even those don't work. You'll have to use the tax parcel ID and figure out the formatting. I always say wherever there is a dash, put a space. You might have to try it without a space. But the dash definitely won't work, and I'll show you that in just a second. And we need the cell number because we'll use this number to look up the estimated opening bid. Now, when you check in the day of the auction, the sheriff's deputy will give you a list of properties to be auctioned off that day. And again, a property you want that's on this list might not end up being auctioned, and it will have an opening bid. But the day of the auction is too late to find out an opening bid, so I will show you how to research the estimate for the opening bid.